call this beat Will Smith, cause it slaps hard. Hear it not when I pull up on your boulevard.
So this guy goes, I make women feel safe but not excited. I've received a consistent piece of feedback from most of the women that I've dated in the past year. I make them feel safe, having a calming presence, and I feel like home to them, but they don't feel particularly excited around me. One decided she didn't want a relationship with me because she didn't feel it, and then changed her mind later because, quote, you're the best man I've ever dated, and she should give it a shot. You can imagine that didn't feel as good to me as she thought it would have. Well, of course not, because no guy wants to be told that, hey, I feel safe around you, but also you make me you're so boring, and I get so bored being around you, and I just get tired. Like, that's never a compliment. So he goes, one even left me because she still felt excitement for an ex whom she described in the strongest terms as toxic and bad for her. Now, this is a little bit of womanese going on there. Shout outs to late great Doc Love for coming up with that term, womanese. But yeah, so when she says her ex is toxic and bad for her, what she's saying is, even though she realizes that the things he's doing in the long run aren't gonna be good for her, he knows how to make her feel in that moment like there's excitement going on and danger, and she doesn't know what's gonna happen from moment to moment. Those parts of dating these guys aren't bad. It's the other a-hole stuff that comes with it. And so you as a guy, when you hear about a woman saying, oh, my ex, blah, 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 you really gotta basically cipher out the negative things about him and say, but what are the positive things that he's actually doing? If I remove the a-hole behavior, because that's not it. The women are thinking it's because he's an a-hole that I like him. But there's really these other behaviors that if you can distill them from the guy she's talking about, you can learn to interject those into your personality and then just do the positive parts and not be the a-hole, and it'll keep her around. But anyway, we'll get to that in a minute. So he says, even though she liked the way she felt around me and was physically attracted to me, she missed that excitement. Key point here, right? To be clear, I plan fun dates. I make people laugh. The hookup is kinky and good. Again, he's saying this from his perspective. From his perspective, the dates are fun. From his perspective, what he's saying is funny. From his perspective, the hookup is great because it feels good when he's able to finish every time. And we're definitely having a good time, but it seems like there's something else women are looking to feel, and I want to understand that better. So I'm wondering, what can I do to help women continue to feel calm and safe around me, but also a little excited too? Now, he said, I anticipate that a lot of the feedback I get will be along the lines of, you don't need to change who you are, just keep being your safe, calming self, and eventually the right woman will want what you're offering. Women who crave excitement, especially from toxic exes, aren't ready to date you and have their own stuff to fix. Different people will be excited about different things. There's no point trying to be more exciting in general. Now, he's listing this because this is what most people are gonna say. Most dudes that hear this would be like, no, or women would be like, oh no, just be exactly who you are. And somebody, someday out there will come along and they'll just automatically like all that stuff. And you know what? That is absolutely true, except for the fact that waiting for that person is going to be a long journey. And as a guy, you should learn to be more in control of your environment and more in control of how the people around you are going to respond to you. And yes, that is a controllable thing. Because think about this. If I just walk up to you and say, hi, how does that make you feel? You probably feel like I didn't really mean to say hi, or I'm saying it out of obligation, or maybe just I had a bad day and like me talking to you is only making it worse, right? Versus if I come up to you and say, hey man, how you doing? It's so good to see you. Oh my God, you're looking so great. Now what do you feel? Now you feel, oh my God, this guy's excited to see me, and oh my gosh, he's making me feel like I'm more alive now and that I have worth and I have meaning to this one person in their day. So you do have control over how you make other people react to you. And this is important to know, because if you know that, then you'll also get to realize that how you approach women and how you treat women and how you show up for women affects how they feel around you. So if you're acting like this guy currently, where he's saying he's doing all the right things, but what he's really doing, he's being predictable. He's saying stuff in a way that's not probably causing too much friction. He's keeping things very, very safe and even keel and vanilla. And women hate the feeling of being with a guy that makes them feel vanilla. So when you become too predictable, when she's able to tell what kind of date you're gonna go on or what kind of hookup moves you're gonna do in the bedroom, all these things, it relates to this guy is boring. He's too easy to figure out. And guys don't understand this because as a guy you think, but yeah, I wanna be somewhat predictable because like I'm supposed to be that rock and I don't want her to think that I'm wishy-washy on who I am or what I do or that I care about her, all this other stuff. Perfectly fine, right? Except for the fact that women are feelings-based people. And so if you just flatline, this is feeling nothing. This is just you being predictable, it's a straight line and everything's hunky-dory and there's no excitement there. Women wanna feel this. They want to feel the ebbs and flows of all emotions. I've said this on the Introvert Dating Success Show before, right? But you don't have to do that in a bad way. And I've talked about on various shows, like the various positive ways you can provide that roller coaster. But I'm going to give you the overall arching way that you can do this after I finish reading this last part. He says, and of course, there's something right about these three responses. I don't want to stop being the person I am, and I don't want to stoop to toxic, manipulative tactics to try to make women feel things. I understand that healthy, regulated people will value the fact that it's easy to be healthy and regulated around me. But excitement is good too. Exactly. I recognize the difference in my own experience between what it's like to be stuck in a bad form of excitement that's really just rebranded anxiety, like the anxious, avoidant, push-pull dynamic. Well, we'll get to that in a second. And what it's like to feel something is hot and exciting in a fun, healthy way. I don't think it's unhealthy or unreasonable for the women I date to want to feel that around me, but I'm not sure what's missing from me that's causing them not to. Well, to start off with, the fact that you look negatively on push-pull dynamics is a major thing because that's how women are going to best feel like there's a give and take or some kind of back and forth going on. Like push and pull is simply, hey, I'm giving you all my attention right now while we're on a date, we're having a good time. Okay, date's over, and now I go away for a few days. Or, oh my God, we just had the best hookup session in the world, and then she goes home, and then I don't text her for a couple of hours. Like, those are the things that men see as playing games and as being manipulative that women actually need in order to feel more things for you. So they actually survive and thrive on push and pull. Think about like all the shows these girls watch where it's like, oh, the handsome guy and the young woman that doesn't know anything yet. And it's like, he showed me all this attention. And, oh my God, he's such a jerk. I hate him. I saw him out with another girl. Oh, but we're back and we're lovey-dovey. Oh my God, we did this thing. It doesn't make sense to guys, but it makes sense to women. It makes sense to women's emotions to feel those things because that gives them life. To them, feelings and emotions is life. When you don't do things for women that allow them to feel those things, then you come across as vanilla and boring and safe, but not exciting. So, furthermore, he says, I admit that there's a bit of ego here too. I don't want to be the guy who seems like a good bet just because he's safe and mature. I want someone I'm interested in to feel something strongly for me. I would hate to live in a world where the only guys who get to make women feel butterflies are the toxic ones who don't treat them well. Is that really how it works? What is about a man that is exciting in a healthy way? So here's the thing. This is most guys' idea is that they think that if a woman's wanting something more exciting, then it has to equate with a guy being toxic. You don't have to be a toxic guy to be able to help a woman feel excitement around you, all right? So anyway, I'm gonna give you guys the all-encompassing thing that you need to interject into your dating game, and it is unpredictability. And unpredictability means you're doing or saying things that either A, she's unaware of is about to happen, and B, throw her emotions for a loop in a positive way overall in reference to how it helps her build attraction to you. Now, again, a lot of guys have a problem with this because you don't want to be unpredictable. You want to be able to tell her exactly how you're thinking and how you're feeling, and you want to let her know all your plans in advance, and you want to tell her, exactly where you see her fitting in your life years from now. You can do all that stuff and you're going to lose a lot of women. I'm just going to tell you right now, you're going to lose a lot of women if you follow that pathway. But when you add some unpredictability to how you're dating, that's going to give women just enough of mystery and not knowing about you that it'll keep them excited on their toes. And this isn't just for the dating phase. This is also for when you're in an actual relationship, because guys think, hey, I got the girl, I'm in a relationship, I don't have to be unpredictable anymore. No. If anything, you need to be more unpredictable then, because you risk the relationship going stagnant and stale if you just suddenly say, yep, I'm in a relationship and now I'm going to just borderline, everything's cool, safe, no emotions, whatever. So the question is, how do you do this in a healthy way? Because we don't want you to be toxic, obviously. What are some positive ways? Well, I talk about this on the show extensively about in the dating phase, how you do that. You go on a date, show her a great time, you go away for 4 days. During that time, you're not talking to her. It may seem as though like you're playing games or being manipulative, but all you're doing is giving her space and time to talk about you, to think about you, and to wonder, when are you going to call? Which means if you wait like a day or two, most women are going to assume a guy's going to text me or call me a day or two after the date. It always happens. When you wait 4 days minimum, now you're unpredictable. Because now she'll start thinking, by day 3, she's like, it's been 3 days, he hasn't contacted me, Maybe he had a bad time. Maybe he's just not interested. He's not gonna. So then when you hear on the 4th day, it's like, oh shoot, I thought I was never gonna hear from this guy. Boom. You are now showing that you are unpredictable and when you're contacting her. Same thing with when you text her back and forth. She initiates a text, you text back in 5 minutes. She sends another text back to you, and now you wait like maybe 45 minutes because you are doing stuff. And you don't have time to always be predictably responding back to her right away. And the best part is, if you start that habit early on, then as you're dating her and as you're in a relationship, you can keep that one up. Like you can be unpredictable forever and a day in when you're getting back to her. But that is adding a level of unknowing to her interaction with you, which actually helps you out. Now, let's go into relationships. How do you do that in relationships? Well, let's say, take example, like right now, right? I work at home. So if I'm dating somebody and they were to come into my apartment on any given day, they're not gonna see me in the same position anytime that they come see me. They might come into my door, for example, and I'm here recording a show. They might come in another day and I'm in my bedroom playing a video game. They might come in one day and I'm in the kitchen whipping up a meal. They might come in one day and I say, hey babe, get your shoes back on. We're going back out to get some food for a date. But the point is, anytime this person comes home, I'm gonna be in a different situation. So they can't predict when they walk through that door what I'm gonna be doing. Heck, there's some days where I might just be gone. Person might come in the door and I'm like, oh, I'm actually like out about doing something else. I'll catch you later. That small action, that's an example of like, that is a thing where I'm not necessarily doing anything to her, but I am being unpredictable in what she's going to find when she gets home to see me, all right? And so these are things that you have to build into your relationship about ways that you can be unpredictable. It can be something as simple as, you're sitting next to your mate and you're watching a movie and you're talking about something, and then out of nowhere, you just lean over and just kiss her. Like, she didn't expect that. Or you guys are walking someplace and out of nowhere, you just smack her butt. Or you guys are at home and you're making a meal and then you just come up from behind her and just start pulling her pants down and start going downtown on her. Like, these are the ways that as a guy, you interject unpredictability into your situation, because these are things that women go, oh my God, I didn't expect this to happen. Or, oh my God, we went from like just having a normal conversation to like, we're suddenly just getting it on. Like, oh my God. And so when you add these unpredictable things to your relationship, then that's what's gonna keep it lively. If you go from like, hey, we're always doing dinner dates, we're always doing drink dates, and now we're gonna go turbo golfing, we're gonna go go-karting, hey, we're gonna go on a hike climb, hey, I'm randomly taking you to this concert you didn't know was in town. Like, these are the things, these surprises like here are the things that are the spice of relationship life. And it's not hard to pull those off. But what I think most guys, and here's something too, is that sometimes when dating, guys will stay in the safe zone. Like, they'll try to figure out what the woman likes and then only stick to those things. And that can very well be the death knell for your relationship, because you're thinking, well, if I take her places where I know she's gonna have a good time, then she'll have a good time, she'll like me, and she'll hear that I'm listening, blah, blah, right? But women are always gonna be wanting to try new stuff. Even if they end up hating it, the story of them being able to try something new will stick with them, and they'll still have a great time of experiencing something new with you versus the same old hat trick. So, for example, again, you guys go to, the same old American food spot all the time. And then one day you say, hey, let's spice it up. I want to go to this like Ethiopian spot, or I want to go to this place where they serve like dog tails or some crap like for dinner. And you're thinking, I don't know if I want to suggest that because what if she doesn't like it? Well, the answer is if she doesn't like it, again, it's a story, but it's more important for women oftentimes about having the experience of doing something new than having to necessarily like that. And I think too many guys get stuck in like, if they don't like it, it equates to them having a bad time. No. They can not like the activity, but still have had a good time because they experienced that lame old or that seemingly annoying activity with you as her significant other, all right? So if you do those kind of things and you're keeping ahead in your mind, like whatever you're doing that seems too predictable, switch it up. Switch up your moves, switch up the things that you do with her, switch up your methods of operation, switch up the way that you have your apartment organized. Like you can find a plethora of ways to be that guy for them that seems a bit more exciting and a bit more dangerous, If you're suggesting new things that could be a bit dangerous, whether it's like, zip lining or rock climbing or doing, whatever, then she's gonna be able to see, oh, he's actually open to trying things that aren't always in the realm of being so super safe, all right? And this isn't to say, by the way, that you gotta suddenly make a woman feel like you're not safe by like punching her or kicking her or stuff like that. We don't wanna get into that at all, right? But it is saying that she needs to be able to see that you have a little bit of fire in you. And also, when you are doing unpredictable things, it shows her on some level that you're trying. You're still trying to, on some level, get her to see that you're a vibrant guy that still has life left in him, that is willing to go out there and try new things, because women are gonna wanna try new things. And the worst thing that happens to women is they meet these guys and then they'll say, hey, we should do such and such. And the guy's like, oh, I don't wanna do that. Why would we do that? We should do this instead. Or we can go to the same old restaurant we always go to. We can watch the same sports on TV we always do. And that's gonna get old real quick. So to you guys out there, just be mindful. Yes, you can. It might take a little bit of work, but trust me, keeping things a bit unpredictable and exciting for her is only going to make her like you a lot more in the long run. If you have any comments or questions you want to ask me as it pertains to your own situation, you can leave your comments down below. You can also write to me at HarryWilmington@gmail.com. Be sure to like this video, give this channel a subscribe, and also, guys, go to introvertdatingsuccess.com to check out my eBooks, audiobooks, programs, and music albums, all designed to help you date as your introverted self while still getting your precious alone time.
You's a bad boy, but you can't stop, won't stop. You a high-earning, high-value, high-class man. You a high-earning, high-value, high-class man. You a high-earning, high-value, high-class man. You a high-class man. You a high-class man. You a high-earning, high-value, high-class man. You a high